Hi, I'm Luna Hernandez, and I'm Capitol High's student representative to the Helena School Board. So today I'm here with Rex, who's the superintendent of the Helena School District, and I'm going to ask him some questions.
I'm Mr. Weltz, superintendent. This is our first part one of a series where we're going to have conversations around school topics, what's going on in the district with students. And so I believe that we'll work with high school students, middle school students, and perhaps even elementary. So I look forward to it. This is our first run, so you ready to give it a try?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Okay, so for my first question, I'd like to ask you, what is one upcoming opportunity for high school students to get involved with something that benefits the Helena School District?
I think there's a lot. As I think about that question, I'll go back to, I was a high school principal for a long time, and some of my proudest moments were watching my students care about each other. And so to be involved in 9th and 10th grade, helping out students where you see it, where they need help. Get involved in our community, volunteer out, especially this time of the year. We're getting closer to winter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, food banks and food donations and community outreach. Things like that are really important. Obviously, my mind goes to the levies that are coming up and supporting them and educating our public in a perspective from a student. I think that's really important and helpful, gaining the knowledge of a student or our students and how something's going to affect them, either positively or negatively.
All right, for my next question, I'd like to ask, what is one thing that you think students should know about current budget discussions?
It's really a simple concept. Kidding. It's really complicated. It's really complicated. In school finance, as simply as I can, there are many funding pockets or buckets, if you will. And of all of those funds, there's one that's called a general fund. And it's the one that really runs the operations. It pays for our lights, pays for teachers and paras and custodians' salaries, pays for our insurance, and pays for textbooks. It's just the big, heavy account that funds most of our operations in Helena Public Schools. It's the one that's short. That's the one we've been talking a lot about. Like, how do we make this better? There's a couple of ways in any finances to balance a budget. Either you cut or you find revenue. And we were nearly $6 million short last year, and one of the things I'm proud of is that we've able to cut that down significantly. There's more work to do. But I think what I want our students to know is that at the end of the day, what's most important about our finances is that we support them. So rather than reducing and cutting programs, we're always thinking about how can we save programs and not reduce to balance our budget, but really finding revenue sources to continue the things we do. The district office, your principals, your teachers all want the same thing. We want to offer as many high quality programs as we can, and that's been our focus. And so you'll hear me say that we're going to have to do some reducing around the district to make the budget work, but we're also going to have to really fight hard on how we're going to find revenue so we can continue to do the things we're doing.
Right.
It's what we need to do, from students to staff, administration to our parents, is not to settle for this is the way it is, it's always going to be this way. I think we need to lobby and work hard at legislation so that the funding mechanism that supplies funds to our school district is increased.
Yeah.
And that's really super important right now.
Right, I think that'll be something that's super valuable for everybody impacted by the Helena School District to keep in mind.
Yeah, I grew up in Montana. I went to school in a small school. I've worked in Class A, now in AA. I've been across the spectrum in Montana. This is important for us here in Helena, but I would say equally important across the state, that there's a need for a focus on how do we fund public education. Because at this point, it doesn't seem like there's enough for all schools. I mean, I could say that you look at Billings, Bozeman, Butte, Belgrade, myself here in Helena, Great Falls, Kalispell, Missoula, we're all short. So there's something going on at the state level, the federal level, that we probably should look at, and that's for us all to get involved in.
Yeah, and I think that student input is very important to state legislature regarding issues about Montana school districts.
I agree. I think something we just talked about earlier is that how can you get involved, and I said that your perspective around what it looks like for you as a student, I want you to be great people around those that need help, and so be those role models, but also a lens from a student's perspective and what it looks like in the daily lives in the school and how funding's affecting you.
All right, and then for my last question, what is your favorite accomplishment that the Helena School District has achieved during your time as superintendent?
Obviously get through a pandemic. I almost get to the point now where I don't even want to talk about that. That was in the past. But that was a lot of planning, a lot of teaming, a lot of coordination, just to get us out in where we're at now. So I'm thankful for that and the team that I have around us. So handle with care. Something maybe not quite in the forefront of our students, but a Handle with Care program we initiated and kicked off this year within a month. It's a program that our law enforcement, while they're intervening at a home, in their students involved, they have an opportunity to let a school district know that, hey, Luna had a bad night, and that's all I need to know. And it comes to us, we find out what school you go to, we tell your principal and your counselor that you had a pretty rough night last night. Handle her with some care. And so we have initiated that across the district, and within 1 month, we have nearly 50, almost 60 occurrences that students had a rough evening with law enforcement. Something happened in their home, and they're probably not ready for school. So help them out a little bit, figure out what their needs are, and then give them a break. So I think that's important. Master facility planning, we're really looking at all our elementaries, middle schools, and high schools. What does it look like for Helena High? How does capital how will it be affected by a master facility plan? Our budget consensus, and so one thing we talked about earlier was the fact that we were $6 million short, and we reduced that deficit quite a bit within 1 year. I'm proud of that work. I'm not happy that we had to do it, but it was the job in front of us, and so it took a lot of hard work and planning and courage to move that needle, that decimal, and so that's been good work. I think overall our success in our community, passing building reserve levies, and now we're up with technology and safety and security. Those are levies that have been in front of us, and having the courage to say we need to go out and do this to help our budgets and help our students and our staff have safe and secure environments, plus technology that you're used to. So that's important stuff, and so there's a lot of things that we're proud of, and I'm thankful for the question, because often you have to reflect back and go, what have we done? And so it's good, because we're always worried about what's in front of us and not necessarily what we've done behind.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a question for you.
Oh, perfect.
Think about your favorite teacher. Okay, I don't use that term lightly. What teacher has impacted you the most, has built good relationships? What makes that teacher that person for you?
Right. I think as a student, I can really tell when a teacher loves the subject that they're teaching, and seeing a teacher love their subject inspires me to also love it. And I can think of a few instances, well, I'm not sure I can pick a favorite teacher, but
right.
I can think of a few instances in where I've had a teacher who has loved a subject so much that I've left that class wanting to go to college to get a degree in that subject. Yeah.
They're excited about it.
Yeah, when a teacher is excited about their subject, it just makes me excited about that subject.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good. So my last question, senior year, what are we doing? Where are you going after this?
That's such a big question.
Is it too early?
I don't know. I've applied to a lot of schools, and I'm really excited about all of them. I'm trying not to have a preference between schools, but I guess we'll see who lets me in, and then I'll make my decision on where I go.
They're going to let you in.
Yeah.
Field, what are you thinking about?
I'm really interested in both economics and engineering.
Great.
Yeah, so there's two different directions I could go, but
we're combining both.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening.
You're a delight. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah. And thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good.
I'm Mr. Weltz, Superintendent. Glad you're all here. What do you got for me? Oh,
That was a good approach.
Yeah.
That was a
I
great-
think.
I can start that by going, all right. So what do you got for me?
Okay. Oh, we're doing
Yeah,
that now.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it again. Ready? Sit up straight. We're looking tall, looking at the camera. We're coming back. We're all natural now. All right. So
Board. So today I'm here with Rex, who's Helena's superintendent. Oh shoot.
do it.
I'm Helena, who's Helena's superintendent, and I'm here to ask him some questions today.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Okay. All right.
We can do a lot of takes.
Yeah.